everybody, it's Thursday, and that means that I'm on Twitter, and if you use the hashtag KatieFAQ, I have found your questions, and I'm going to answer them. Today, I have 4, like most days, and I have a journal topic that comes directly from one of you. So if you ever have a journal topic idea, as well as the questions, you can always ask them, because I'm always looking for new information, and a lot of you have wonderful insights to share, and what better way to share it, right? Okay, so without further ado, first question. When you're in recovery for an eating disorder, should you weigh yourself? And at a doctor's appointment, can you refuse to get on the scale? It really depends on you. I usually tell my clients not to weigh themselves. I'll even make them, not make them, that's not the right word, but like through the process of their recovery, I'll ask if they want to bring their scale in and leave it with me, and I'll keep it. And if they want it back, I can give it back at any time, but it kind of takes away the option that we may have when we're just at home and our eating disorder voice may get a little loud. It gives us a way to kind of ignore it a little bit. So I would encourage you not to, because to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Like, I never weigh myself. I think the last time I weighed myself was like, I don't know, a couple months ago. And even then, that was like the first time since a couple other months ago. So I don't worry about it. And so I don't think you should either. And the second part of the question, at a doctor's appointment, can you refuse to get on the scale? I would truthfully guess that the answer is no, you can't refuse. But I have my clients say to the physician, can I get on the scale backwards? I don't want to see my weight. They'll say, okay. And then just tell the nurse, like, don't say it out loud, or let people know I don't want to know. And I know it's uncomfortable at first to say that, but to be honest, you're kind of setting a precedence, and then it'll go in your chart. You never have to say it again. No one will ever bug you about it. And you kind of have done it. And so then you go and you stand on the scale backwards, and they read it, they write it down, doesn't matter. And it's a good way to keep yourself on recovery, or in recovery, on the right path without feeling too overwhelmed with numbers. Okay? Question number 2. Now this one's a little long, so I'm just going to read it out here. Okay, so I've never been to a therapist or anything, but based on your videos, I think I have EDNOS. It sort of comes and goes, and lately it's been trying to come back again. Well, I've been trying my best to ignore it and not restrict, but I've noticed that for the last week or so, food is making me sick. No matter what I eat for dinner or lunch, it always makes me feel nauseous in my stomach. And I've kind of just assumed that it's somehow from the eating disorder. But I don't know. Is it possible / normal for your body to reject food for no reason like that? What can I do about it? I'm just confused about what's going on, because it literally happens after every meal. It is related to your eating disorder, most likely. Now, if you're worried and you are if any other ones of you are going through this, I would encourage you to check with your doctor. Go get checked out, because we never know. You could have a stomach bug. It could be something that's happening organically. So I would get that checked out first, just to be sure. But in my experience, a lot of my clients will talk about this, that their body's rejecting the food and they can't eat the food. It's 9 times out of 10, it's our anxiety. It's our eating disorder. It's the fact that we're thinking it and overthinking it and that it makes us feel sick. Because we all know that we can actually mentally make ourselves sick physically. We can get ourselves grossed out. Some of us will see like a poopy baby diaper and we can make ourselves throw up. We know that mentally we can make ourselves sick physically. So I would encourage you, as you're eating, to gauge your hunger fullness on like that intuitive eating that I've talked about before, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how hungry, how full are you? Check in with yourself. Give yourself time to breathe and calm down. Make sure your anxiety is not going through the roof, because my guess is that that's what's driving the nausea. And once you kind of fight back against that eating disorder voice, I'd bet money that your anxiety, your nausea goes away, because it's so linked to how we actually feel emotionally. And that's why we struggle with an eating disorder, right? Because our food, hunger, fullness is linked to emotional feelings and stress and all that. It's like so tied. So that will be my guess, okay? And keep me posted. Let me know if that helps, okay? Question number 3. Is it normal to hear more than 2 voices with anorexia nervosa? And will this affect my career as a therapist or a psychiatrist in the future? A lot of people have a lot of different voices. I know that may sound crazy, like, oh, I have all these voices in my head. But it's normal for you to hear these negative eating disorder, focus voice, just plain negative voices, nothing around food. I just like to lump them all together so that we don't feel like we're hearing so many voices. And I lump them as like the negative or the eating disorder voice or the self-harm voice. I just lump them all together as our unhealthy voice. So that's what I would call it. If you do feel like you are hearing other voices and like those voices are telling you what to do, or they're telling you what to look out for and stuff like that, then I would see a psychiatrist, because I check in because it may be something else. Like I have a video about schizophrenia, and you may want to watch that because it does talk about how we can hear other voices in our head, and if they tend to tell us what to do, or make us feel a little bit more paranoid, or we're worried about things, think people are watching us and it's telling us people are watching us, then that may be something that you'll want to get checked out by a psychiatrist, just to make sure that it is in fact the eating disorder voice and not another issue to work on, okay? As far as it affecting your career as a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything like that, it doesn't. As long as we're in recovery from whatever we're struggling with, as long as we're working on ourselves and we feel that we're healthy enough to help others, I see no problem with it. Even at the eating disorder clinics that I worked at, as long as we had been in recovery as therapists, if we'd struggled with the eating disorder before, as long as we'd been in recovery for, I think it was 2 or 3 years, then we were fine. So that was kind of what they would ask. They asked in the interview, have you struggled with the eating disorder? If your answer was no, they didn't really ask anything else. But from what I heard from other therapists who had struggled in the past, as long as you were in recovery for a significant period of time, it doesn't matter, because sometimes we can actually be more helpful because we have the personal experience, right? So there's just a little information on that. Okay, question number 4. I've had so many questions about this since I put out the Trichotillomania video. This is scalp picking similar to hair pulling? While watching your videos, all the things you talked about rung true for my scalp picking. Now, I'm going to lump all of this in the scalp picking with people who pick at their face or on their body, just skin picking. Now, it is not the same as trichotillomania, although it falls under the same category. I have my DSM down here because this isn't a term I use, and I want to make sure I say it right. We call it skin picking disorder, and you can actually give that as a diagnosis, but the actual term, if you want to Google it, is called excoriation. It's excoriation, excoriation. And it is very similar in symptoms to trichotillomania in that we will feel anxiety about it. A lot of us even have rituals with the way that we pick our skin, but it's also the same common places like face, scalp, arms, and hands, because those things are really easy and accessible, and we often do it without even noticing. Like if it's scalp picking, we may just go like this and we feel through without knowing that we're doing it. I've seen many people do it, like even on a flight I was on recently, I saw someone that was doing it, and they don't even realize they're doing it. And it says also that like I said, the rituals involved with skin or scabs, you get a sense of relief once you do it. So you can see why it's kind of similar to trichotillomania. It's also under the obsessive compulsive and related disorders that trichotillomania lies under as well. So CBT therapy is still the best option. I lump it, to be honest, very similarly with trichotillomania and treat it very much the same. So I would utilize the tips and tricks that I had in that video for this as well. And if you want to do more research, you can always Google it, or you can ask more. I could do a whole video on this if you want. Just let me know. And last but not least, our journal topic for today. Now, this was from one of my followers, Brianna. She recommended it, and I thought this was really cool. She says, journal topic. She tweeted it to me. A lot of us are ashamed of scars, physical/emotional. What would it be like if we looked at scars as a good thing? And I love this because as a kid, we used to play this game in youth group. I used to be a member of this youth group when I was growing up, and we share scar stories, right? What's the story behind the scar? Like, oh, my brother was chasing me. We were playing tag, and I fell on the asphalt on my knee, and that's why I have this scar, or I had the surgery, or oh my gosh. And so we would tell these stories. And with that in mind, I thought this was really cool because what's the story behind it? Where were you? What were you going through? And where are you now? And how have you overcome it? Because a scar is a healed wound, right? These aren't fresh cuts or fresh wounds. And emotional scars, she talks about emotional scars. What did you go through? How strong are you? What have you overcome and worked through? I think this shows a lot of strength and a lot of perseverance. So share your scar stories. Where have you been? And where are you now? And how'd you work through it? What makes you the strong, wonderful person that you are? I think that's a really cool journal topic. So thank you so much for sharing that, Brianna. Tomorrow is Friday, and so I'll be on Facebook. So ask your questions there, and I'll use the hashtag KatieFAQ, and I'll find them. And I will see you all then. Have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.